Hey everybody, it's Michelle Visage. Welcome to a brand new season of Whatcha Packin. Joining us today is June Jambalaya.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, darling.
How are you?
We just found out that you and I are both AMDA alumni.
Yes.
And your specialization was dance.
Mm-hmm.
And what you were telling me before we started rolling was that your mama said, you are going to get a degree.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good mother.
Yeah. She's like, you're going to get a degree for when your ankle breaks, you're going to be able to teach.
How did you find drag, June?
I was choreographing for drag queens. And then a drag queen here in LA, Callista Stage, was like, I think you should do it. Like, I feel like you could do it. And I was like, I was hesitant because I knew the expectations for drag queens and it's becoming harder and more elaborate and I didn't know if I had the chutzpah.
You certainly do.
Yeah, and so I started drag in 2018. I did a competition in West Hollywood for 10 weeks. And
So you're kind of new.
Yeah.
I love that. You're kind of a baby and you got into RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, when you got asked to do the show and you got your phone call, what was your reaction? Because you are kind of new.
I called my mom and cried, and she was like, what's wrong? Because I couldn't get the words out.
Oh.
Like, y'all saw on the show, I cried. So she was like, I couldn't get the words out. And then when I told her, and she was like, it's your time. You've been training and, being creative, and this is what you love. It's fashion, art, hair, creativity, everything I love wrapped up in this character I've created in my head. I, never thought my first try it would happen, and I was just like, let me audition and see what it takes so I can get it right the next time.
How'd you come up with June Jambalaya?
I was in dance. I was taking a jazz funk class, and my teacher, he's like, when's your birthday? I was like, June. He's like, what's the last thing you ate? I said, for lunch I had jambalaya. He said, you're June Jambalaya.
Oh!
And I was just like, it stuck with me.
So your dance teacher named you. So in this competition, RuPaul's Drag Race, somebody has to go home first, June Jambalaya. And now that I hear how kind of new you are to this, I imagine it wouldn't hurt you as greatly as maybe some of these chicks that have been doing it. Well, I've been doing it for 18 years. Well, you're going home first. Maybe it has a different impact. I'm sure it hurt nonetheless because you gave it all you got. But for you, I think it really came down to the sewing situation for you, don't you think? June? Because the dance was amazing.
Yeah.
For the talent show, you did that kind of African-based dance. It was free and moving and contemporary and wonderful. You had some issues with things that were going on. What happened with the sewing situation?
So I took 2 sewing lessons when I got the call. Because I was like, okay, talent, okay, I got that. Acting, okay, I got that. I was like, good clothes, I'm gonna get help with that. And so I was like, I took 2 sewing lessons and it was just not.
Did you practice?
Not like I should have, and I'm gonna be honest. And I thought because I have tastes and style, I'll be able to, create something. And do I 100% stand by what I made? It wasn't terrible, but when you have other girls who are literally, Project Runway ready.
And when you line it up next to them, that's when you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And again, it just so happened that was the luck of the draw that you got the ball really early this time. And you drown, that's what happens. Because if you're not skilled at it, it's kind of like, okay, now I see. It's a chink in the armor, so to speak.
For sure.
So what would you say to the kids that are coming in the next class of RuPaul's Drag Race and think, I can do this without sewing?
Don't. If you get the call, take the lessons. And I didn't make patterns in my sewing lessons. The first class was like, how do I thread this machine?
Thread the bobbin.
And then the second one was like, okay, how do I, do a complete line of a stitch? But I never made a pattern. I was like, oh.
That's the hardest, yeah. These are basics that we do need to cover. Make a pattern, thread the machine, work the machine, figure out how to make said pattern. And that's kind of all you really need because you can decorate it after. So who did you buddy up with? Who did you make a good connection with?
I knew Cornbread before the show.
Because you had gone to AMDA together.
Yeah, we went to school together. I knew Carrie because I competed with her sister in West Hollywood. But I think coming in, Willow and Alyssa, for sure.
Alyssa Hunter and Willow Pill.
Yes.
And the beauty of this, and I talk about it a lot in Whatcha Packin, is nobody goes out of this competition unscathed. Like they all have war wounds, they all have sisters forever. It's such an emotional roller coaster.
Sure.
And you leave this with friends for life.
Yeah, because I didn't have a big drag community because I was new at this. Yeah, I choreographed for queens, but when it came down to like helping me and, you know, styling hair and doing certain things, I was pretty much learning it on my own. And to now have these amazing, talented artists like helping me in this field that I want to make a career out of, like money can't put a price on that.
And when you get to see a lot of June Jambalaya, who would you have done in the Snatch Game?
I was doing Titus Burgess.
Oh, we love Titus.
Yeah.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Yeah.
You would have been really good at that.
I really enjoy him. I wanted to, hello, RuPaul.
Oh, you
like,
would
I
have
just,
loved
yeah.
that. You brought some beautiful fashions that you never got a chance to wear. Tell us about them. Tell us about this beautiful, it reminds me of almost like...
Water?
Yeah, Under the Sea.
So, my friend Plastic Poussey,
I love it.
being from Florida, I really wanted to look like the waves. I said I remember just skipping school, going to the beach with my Sonic cup and, you know, my heart dot, and I was just
Cherry
like,
limeade.
Yes, I was just like, I really want to incorporate, you know, my love for my home, but make it fashion. I said, I just want to float.
Drag is a huge culture in Florida. In, I don't know about Jacksonville, definitely in Orlando, definitely
when
Tampa.
I say I have such a drag crush for Roxxxy Andrews.
Oh, well, she's easy too.
Yeah, it's just when I think of the way she incorporates the traditional drag and modernize it so effortlessly, and it's respected of both genres of where drag is and going, I just, yeah.
There are many, many great drag performers and drag queens, kings out there, non-binary performers, but when you think of people who were born to do drag and nothing else, Roxxxy Andrews is definitely top 3 on that list.
For sure.
Tell me about this one.
Okay, so I flew to Chicago to work with D'Amico Cholula because he did a lot of pieces for Kimura Hall. And
You know how fabulous
Kimura is. I wanted to do something other than my typical pretty, you know, because I always say I'm the Real Housewife of Drag. And I wanted to do something a little different and dark, and we came up with this. I really didn't want, you know, something traditional for something that could easily fall womp womp.
For me, chaps in general, it's just an easy way out for drag. So I don't hate them. Just on RuPaul's Drag Race, leotard, chaps, it's predictable.
And that's why I literally was like, let's make the actual garment the chap. Like
I love it.
June has helped me love my body.
I love it.
And so I'm creating this character, you know, I don't hide from you.
Did you before June?
Oh, for sure. I think growing up with dance and then watching, you know, other artists, I've always wanted to look like, you know, that male dancer and, you know, the abs and the... And I was like, that wasn't me. And I still wanted to be creative. And June allowed me to, you know, accept I got a little extra junk in the trunk.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm curvy and I can still be sexy. And, you know, this character allows me to do that. And I kind of felt that with that one.
And finally, this gorgeous piece behind us.
Yes, I was inspired by the Valentino, my friend Marvin Hidalgo. I was really excited because this is his first time ever making anything for a Ru Girl.
Wonderful.
And I was like, I wanted something pretty, and I was like, I really wanted to do the big bow because I said, I'm a gift, and this is a gift, and I'm gonna give my gift to the world.
Hey, I love that.
So.
Well, I implore you and encourage you to make sure that they're seen because they're so glamorous and so glorious. We sadly didn't get to see enough of June Jambalaya, but as you know, once a Ru Girl, always a Ru Girl. You're part of the family now. People are going to see you out there on the road performing and showing your wares and what you do best. So happy I got a chance to judge you. Sorry you went home first. Somebody's got to go home first, but the world got to see you.
And I got to do a lot before I went home. So
I think you did. It wasn't the traditional first one.
No, yeah.
You sure did.
I got to
And
do
you
a
were
lot.
just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Whatcha Packin. We'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah. Hey, it's Michelle Visage. Do you want gay shit? Check out RuPaul's Drag Race YouTube channel and hit subscribe.